Many people experience the same frustrating pattern where during the day they eat pretty well, make reasonable food choices, and genuinely try to do the right things. But when night comes, hunger suddenly appears, cravings kick in, and snacking feels automatic, and some people even wake up starving while belly fat refuses to move. This leads to a common assumption that they must be lacking willpower or still eating too many calories somewhere, but the truth is far more interesting and far more encouraging than that. The problem is not willpower, and it's not calories either, because for most people fat loss doesn't fail during the day at all, it fails at night. At night something quietly changes inside the body, and most people never realize it's happening, but that change ends up deciding whether fat loss continues or completely stalls. Tonight, I want to show you one simple thing you can do before bed that helps shut down nighttime hunger and reduces fat storage signals while you sleep, using foods you already recognize and nothing extreme or exotic. When you understand the physiology behind this, everything starts to make sense, because every single night your body makes a decision whether you are aware of it or not. Your body either shifts into repair and fat burning mode or stays stuck in stress and fat storage mode, and there is really no middle ground when it comes to this decision. That decision is not random, and it's not based on motivation or discipline. It is driven mainly by two hormones, cortisol and insulin. These hormones act like switches in the body because when they are stable at night, repair and fat burning can happen, but when they stay elevated, the body shifts into protection mode. Protection mode means storing fat, especially visceral fat around the midsection, which is the hardest and most stubborn fat to lose. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and during the day it helps regulate energy and blood sugar, but cortisol is not meant to stay high at night. When cortisol remains elevated in the evening, fat storage increases, belly fat becomes more stubborn, hunger intensifies, and sleep quality starts to decline. Chronically high nighttime cortisol sends one clear message to the body that it is not safe, and biologically, when the body feels unsafe, it holds onto energy, which means fat. Insulin is the other critical piece of this puzzle, because at night the body becomes more sensitive to insulin spikes, and even small blood sugar changes can trigger big fat storage responses. When insulin spikes at night, hunger turns on, cravings increase, and fat loss slows or stalls, which is why people feel stuck despite doing everything right. They are unknowingly triggering fat storage signals while they sleep, and this is exactly where a simple before bed strategy makes all the difference. That strategy is half a cup of low fat or 2% cottage cheese, a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon, and a small pinch of salt, eaten about 45 to 60 minutes before bed, not right before lying down. This is not a magic fat burning trick, but it does something far more powerful by shutting off the hormonal signals that stop fat loss from happening. Cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, which digests very slowly at night, keeping blood sugar stable for hours and preventing hunger from spiking while you sleep. Stable blood sugar keeps your hunger hormone lower, reduces cravings, and makes you far less likely to wake up starving in the middle of the night. That steady signal also calms the nervous system, keeps cortisol lower, and casein helps prevent muscle breakdown during sleep, protecting your metabolism. This is not about calories at all. It is about sending a calming and stable signal to your body overnight, and that signal changes everything. Cinnamon plays an important role because it improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your body can control blood sugar with less insulin, especially at night. At night, insulin spikes more easily and quickly triggers fat storage, but cinnamon helps blunt those spikes so insulin stays more stable. When insulin stays stable, hunger stays lower, fat storage signals quiet down, and metabolism stays more balanced overnight. Now, here is the part almost nobody talks about, and this is what makes the combination so effective: a small pinch of salt. Most people assume salt should be avoided at night, but low sodium can actually raise cortisol, especially in people dealing with chronic stress. Low sodium sends a danger signal to the adrenal system. Cortisol rises, stress mode turns on, and stress mode always pushes the body toward fat storage. High cortisol drives nighttime hunger, cravings, poor sleep, and stubborn belly fat that feels impossible to lose. A small pinch of quality salt signals safety to the body. Cortisol drops, the stress response calms, and sleep quality often improves. This is not about eating salty foods. It is about correcting a stress signal, and that correction matters more than most people realize. So, what is this really doing? It is not magically burning fat. It is removing the hormonal roadblocks that stop fat loss from happening. When cortisol and insulin stabilize at night, the body shifts away from storage mode and repair finally begins, which is when real progress starts. Low fat or 2% cottage cheese works best. Fat free digests too fast. Full fat can feel too heavy, and about half a cup is enough. Eat it 45 to 60 minutes before sleep. Stay consistent if night hunger is your issue, and do not add fruit because fruit raises insulin. Greek yogurt can work, but cottage cheese works better overnight because casein digests slower and lasts longer. Anyone with a dairy allergy or on a strict low sodium medical diet should skip this. But for everyone else it is simple and practical. Most people notice fewer nighttime cravings, deeper sleep, less morning bloating, and better appetite control the next day. Many people feel a difference the very first night, which shows how powerful hormonal signals really are. This is not a trick, this is physiology, and physiology always wins in the long run. At night, cortisol and insulin decide whether you store fat or allow fat loss, and tonight you are changing that signal. If you have been frustrated and stuck despite doing everything right, try this and see how your body responds. I hope this information serves you well. I wish good health for you and your loved ones, and most importantly, make it a great day.